There are things that happen inside prisons that never make it into reports, not because no one sees them, but because everyone, even the guards, are too afraid to speak. This is that side of prison, the one built on secrets, silence, and survival. Every guard has a story they'll never tell. Some call it the fourth floor, others, the Red Wing, a place you won't find on any official map, because what happens there isn't supposed to exist. If you think the inmates run the show, you're only half right. The truth is, the most terrifying part of prison isn't the gangs. It's what's allowed to happen in the dark, when the cameras malfunction and everyone suddenly forgets how to talk. The Whistleblower, in 2019, a corrections officer named Daniel Reese broke the code of silence. After 11 years working at Stonebridge State Penitentiary, he'd had enough. He claimed there was a hidden unit inside the prison, one even most guards didn't know existed, and according to him, that's where the real punishment began. When Reese tried to report what he had seen, his car was followed, his home was vandalized, and one night, someone left a dead rat on his porch with a note that read, "Keep your mouth shut, the Red Wing." The Red Wing wasn't officially part of the prison. It was built decades ago, back when solitary confinement wasn't a punishment, it was a sentence. 6 windowless cells, concrete walls stained with decades of sweat and blood. No cameras, no paperwork, no witnesses. Reese claimed inmates were sent there for disciplinary rehabilitation, but in reality, it was where guards went to make examples out of those who crossed them. And if you ended up in the Red Wing, you didn't come back the same. The incident. One night, an inmate named Malik Ghost Daniels vanished from his cell. No transfer papers, no release order, just gone when his family called. To the prison, they were told he had been moved to another facility, but no record of that move ever existed. A week later, Reese claimed he heard screams coming from the Red Wing, followed by the sound of a guard yelling, "Turn off the mic, no one's gonna hear this." The next morning, a maintenance worker found bloodstains leading from the Red Wing drain to the outer yard. The official report? A plumbing issue. The cover-up, Reese's emails were deleted, his access revoked. Within days, he was reassigned to tower duty, miles away from the main facility. But the silence only made him more suspicious. He began documenting everything: dates, times, names. He hid flash drives behind ceiling panels and smuggled notes out in food containers. Until one night, the warden called him in. No words were said. Just a single folder slid across the desk. Inside, photos of his family, smiling, unaware. Reese resigned the next morning. You might think the guards have the power, but inside, fear doesn't wear an orange jumpsuit. It wears a badge. Many of them stay silent because they've seen what happens when you don't. Some guards simply disappear. Transferred, they say. But Reese swore he saw one of them, months later, walking among the inmates, head shaved, number on his chest. Prisons aren't just about walls and bars. They're ecosystems, where power, violence, and fear all feed off each other. And in that balance, silence is survival. The Red Wing isn't an isolated story. From Texas to Pennsylvania, ex-guards have come forward describing off-the-books punishment blocks. Unofficial, untraceable, and always denied. The final tape. They think it's over, but I've got proof. If anything happens to me, look in Locker 17. That was the last message Daniel Reese ever left. 2 days later, he was found dead in his car. The official cause? Suicide. But the coroner's rep, Ort, noted bruises inconsistent with self-infliction. Locker 17 was never found. And the Red Wing? According to the Department of Corrections, it never existed. Scene 9. So the next time someone tells you prison is about justice, remember this. Even the people guarding the gates sometimes pray they'll never have to open them because some doors, once opened, can never be closed again. The shadows in the files. After Reese's death, an anonymous package was sent to a local journalist. No return address, no message. Inside were 2 things, a small USB drive and a handwritten note that simply read, "Don't let this die with me." The journalist, Claire Matthews, opened the files and realized what she had stumbled into. A decade's worth of internal reports, unredacted disciplinary logs, and a hidden set of transfer documents referencing something called Block R. The deeper she dug, the clearer it became. Block R was more than a location. It was a system, a silent machine designed to erase people. The code of the corrections officers. To understand what happened inside Block R, you have to understand the code. Guards live by it. Inmates die by it. It's not written anywhere, but everyone knows it. Protect your own. Deny everything. Don't talk. For most, it's not about loyalty. It's about survival. Whistleblowers don't get medals in prison. They get isolation, suspicion, and sometimes accidents. One former corrections officer, who asked to remain anonymous, told Claire, "The inmates aren't the only ones trapped in there. We are too. We just wear cleaner clothes." The prison's hidden architecture. Claire's investigation uncovered old blueprints of Stonebridge Penitentiary. One version showed a basement level, another didn't. There was no record of when the lower cells were sealed off, but the walls in other parts of the prison carried hints, strange echoes behind thick concrete air vents leading to nowhere, and maintenance tunnels that never appeared in the official layout. Old-timers called it the Pit, Rumo. The audio recordings. They think we're ghosts down here. I can hear them upstairs, laughing. The USB drive contained fragments of audio, apparently recorded from within the Red Wing itself, voices overlapping, screams echoing, metal dragging across the floor. Audio experts verified the background noise, ventilation hum consistent with a confined underground space. The tape was real, and worse. The timestamp matched the night Reese had reported those same screams. The prison's economy of fear. In prison, everything has a price. Food, cigarettes, safety, even silence. Guards earn little. Overtime is endless. So when a gang offers a few hundred to lose a file or forget a transfer, it's not hard to see why things disappear. But the Red Wing wasn't about money. It was about control. Reese wrote in his notes, "When control slips, they remind us who really runs this place." And that reminder came in the form of screams in the dark. Not everyone who entered the Red Wing vanished. Some came back, different, quiet, shaking, eyes hollow, like they'd seen something no one was supposed to. One former inmate, known only as Rico, said he spent 6 days in the Red Wing. No food, no light, just a single voice on the intercom whispering questions. Every time he refused to answer, a sharp hiss filled the room, followed by pain he couldn't explain. He never told anyone what he said to make it stop. He just repeated one thing to the journalist. It wasn't human down there. The psychological experiment theory. Claire stumbled upon an even darker theory, that the Red Wing wasn't just punishment, it was an experiment. Back in the 1980s, a government-funded behavioral modification program tested inmate compliance under sensory deprivation. Officially, it was shut down. Unofficially, it may have just moved underground. The lost footage. 6 months after Reese's death, a former technician uploaded an anonymous clip online. Security footage, time-stamped Block R, Camera 03. It lasted only 17 seconds before being taken down. Experts analyzed the clip. The pattern of the walls matched Stonebridge. And for one brief moment, a voice is heard saying, "Shut it down. They're watching." The lockdown. After the video leaked, Stonebridge went on total lockdown. No visitors, no press. 3 guards were terminated the following week for unauthorized information sharing. But no criminal investigation ever followed. The prison's warden issued one statement. There is no Block R, there never was. And with that, the case went cold, the return of the Red Wing, but whispers never stay buried forever. In 24, a new batch of inmates arrived at Stonebridge. Within weeks, families began receiving letters. Short, shaky handwriting, all saying the same thing. We're in the Red Wing now. Officials dismissed them as pranks. But the names on those letters, all 6 inmates were officially recorded as transferred to facilities that, once again, don't exist. The final confession. Before Claire vanished, yes, vanished, she sent one last email to her editor. No subject line, no greeting, just 5 words. It's not just one prison. To this day, no one knows what happened to her. Her car was found outside an abandoned correctional facility 2 states away. Keys still in the ignition, USB drive missing. The truth they buried. Every prison has 2 sides. The one they show the public, and the one they pray no one ever sees. Walls don't just keep people in, they keep the truth out. Men like Daniel Reese, inmates like Ghost, and journalists like Claire Matthews. They, too, tried to open that door and paid the price for it. Some say the Red Wing was just a rumor, a myth. But if that's true, why does every old prison seem to have one? Maybe it's not about one prison at all. Maybe it's about a system designed to break men twice, once with bars and once with silence. We're still here. And if you ever find yourself standing outside one of those gates, staring at the concrete and steel, just remember, what you see isn't always what's inside. Because inside those walls, the truth doesn't die. It just waits for someone brave enough to listen